Hi guys, welcome back to the baseline. Thank you so much for joining me again. So imagine this, everyone. The courtroom, it's silent, except for the sound of history trying not to repeat itself. We have 9 justices, 1 statute, and a single question hanging in the air like smoke. Can a president declare an emergency and rewrite the law in his own image? That's what this Supreme Court is fighting about right now. It's not tariffs, it's not trades. It's about a president who found a magic word, emergency, and used it like a crowbar on the Constitution. Because here's the thing, once you can call anything an emergency, you can make everything a dictatorship in slow motion. And here's the crazy thing that nobody really wants to say out loud. If the courts side with Trump, the next president, any president, could use this exact same trick. Just scream emergency, right? And it becomes the new abracadabra. Congress, gone. Checks and balances, optional. This isn't a theory, by the way. It's happening right now. Under a law passed in 1977 called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, Trump used it to impose global tariffs on 138 countries unilaterally, indefinitely, and without explicit congressional approval. So imagine that. Imagine that the founders said Congress controls taxes. Trump said, no, not anymore. So let's try to ground this down, right? So those tariffs weren't just a number on a spreadsheet. They were taxes on the American people. And it was hidden in plain sight. Every time you bought a refrigerator, a car, a phone, you were paying a secret presidential tax that never went through Congress. So think of it like this. It's like your landlord doubling your rent, calling it a leak repair fee, and then never fixing the leak. And now that same power play is sitting before the Supreme Court itself. Justice Gorsuch, usually a conservative ally, warned this. He warned that presidential power has become a one-way ratchet. Now, once a president seizes it, Congress can't get it back. Even Amy Coney Barrett, Trump's own appointee, sounded the alarm. She asked this question: if Congress wanted to reverse this, how could they? When every president will just veto the limits. So let's take a moment and pause on that. Because even Trump's judges see the machine he built and realize they might never be able to shut it off. So what's on trial isn't tariffs. It's the operating system of American democracy. And here's the irony to the whole thing. The same conservatives who built the major questions doctrine to limit government power now face the test of their own doctrine. Do they believe what they preach? Or do they only believe it when it benefits their side? If they're true textualists, they'll read the law as written, and it doesn't say tariff. It says regulate. But Trump's lawyers stretched that word like taffy until it meant tax whatever you want. It's an absurdity dressed as authority, like calling your Netflix password a defense budget. And all these people are right about one thing, right? This case is the purest stress test of American checks and balances in a generation. Article 1 gives Congress the power to tax. Article 2 gives the president, the power to enforce. But Trump has blurred the line until both powers wore the same tie. This isn't left versus right. This is law versus loophole. Because once presidents start legislating by emergency, the Constitution stops being a shield and becomes a menu. And sooner or later, someone orders dictatorship. I mean, you'd have to think of it like a horror sequel. The villain doesn't return wearing the same mask. Last time it was immunity. You can't charge a president for crimes. This time the mask is tariffs. You can't stop a president from taxing you. Different disguise, different mask, the same villain, the same monster. Power without accountability. And absolute power, you guys know the rest. And the court now stands where the founders once stood, deciding whether kings still exist, or whether this experiment called democracy gets another day in court. If Roberts and Gorsuch join Barrett and the liberals, we might actually see the court strike this down. But if they don't, then emergency powers becomes the back door for every future president to do what Congress won't. Climate bans, immigration crackdowns, financial controls, all by executive decree. And if you think that's far-fetched, remember this, guys. It only takes one signature and one scared nation to make tyranny look like actual leadership. So here's the real question. What happens when the law that's supposed to protect you becomes the law that controls you? That's the thread running through this trilogy. Immunity, emergency, and impunity. And every empire that forgets its limits eventually learns them the hard way. Rome called it Caesar. We call it executive privilege. Different century, same temptation. But maybe, just maybe, this is the turning point this time. Maybe this time, even the justices who built the tools of power decide they've gone too far. Maybe this time, the system remembers what it was actually built for. Not to serve the powerful, but to restrain them. Because if the Constitution means anything, if it means anything at all, it means this. No one, not even a president, gets to break the law in the name of saving it. So, here's the part nobody is saying now, right? This ruling won't decide what Trump can do. It will decide what every president after him will dare to try. Because once the word emergency becomes lawless, the next crisis won't just test our economy. It will test whether the people still own the government or whether the government owns us. All right, guys, do I have this all right? Do I have it all wrong? Put it in the comment section below. And I'll look forward to reading all of your guys' opinions. And of course, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode of The Baseline. All right. Cheers, everybody.